Hey everybody, what's going on? It's B from Kongs R Us, and welcome to The Next Level. This is my weekly podcast where I bring on special guest community members that really take it to the next level in everything they do. I'm broadcasting live from my mini arcade here, and the big topic for today is setting up arcade game rooms. So I know that a lot of you guys have great, wonderful arcade rooms, and mine needs a lot of work. I have a confession to make, guys. I like to mod, as you guys know, but I have never, ever turned on all of my arcades at one time. Like, they've never been turned on in this setting. Like, I have a couple that are here and there working. I have like one, my Buck Hunter right now is a PC that I'm running a side camera on. So my confession and reason for doing this show was I need to get some good tips and advice from professionals, from what I consider professionals, folks that really take it to the next level with setting up their arcade room. So I'm looking for inspiration. If you guys have set up your own arcade rooms, let me know in chat. I'd love to hear from you guys about any ideas that you guys have, especially for my setup. This is almost going to be like an extreme home makeover edition, but for B's Arcade. So I'm open to any and all advice on how to make my little setup better. And so I'm showing you guys what I have, but I'm going to start bringing on my guests one at a time to introduce themselves. But they, don't need a big introduction. Some of them you may know already, some of you may not. But I'd love to start off with, I was really excited when she decided to join me. It's GameMom77. If you guys haven't known her, check out her YouTube channel. She has an amazing game room, the most brilliant ideas to make your arcades awesome. GameMom77, aka, I'm gonna say it because people may not know. What do you want to introduce yourself? I can do it. Everybody, this GameMom77, aka Lisa, is the person behind the scenes. I know hopefully you have a second camera. It's a little bit fuzzy, but it's so nice to meet you virtually, chat with you, just to hear from you, and love to hear more about your arcade. But you want to do a quick intro to kind of who you are, how long you've been collecting arcade one-ups and doing your game room for?
Sure. Well, like you said, my real name is Lisa.
Okay.
The GameMom77 is just like the channel, the name that I chose for the channel.
Yes.
I started. Well, me and my husband always had a passion for gaming and stuff. But I guess about a couple years ago, we came across the arcade one-ups, and we decided to put some in our game room, and it just started from there. And we started. I think we started out with the 10 games, and then it just avalanched from there. And I think the ideas and stuff for the games is more so me and my husband, we collab together. So we ideas off of each other and just think of crazy out of the box things and try to put them together.
Awesome. So, I mean, you see it in the chat that, Mad Dad's Gaming Gene says, you're the best. You have the best game room, in my opinion. So, I mean, there's other people that have arcades, and, you stand up there as one of the ones that really, and I'll just say it's next level. So I would love to I have so many questions for you, but we're going to hold that because I have a couple more guests. But thank you so much for joining. So hang tight. My next guest I want to bring on is somebody who runs a dedicated Facebook group literally for arcade rooms. It's called The Arcade Game Room, and it's the admin for that group. He's a great community member in the Arcade One-Up community and other arcades as well. It's Ronnie Fowler from Ron's Retro Arcade. Ronnie, what's up, man? How you doing?
Man, pretty good. How are you doing?
Good, good. You want to give everybody a quick intro to who you are? You got an awesome custom logo. I've seen that on your back of your arcade. Ron's Retro Arcade. Is that something that you came up with? Is that just kind of your brand for your personal arcade, or are you also trying to, share anything else about retro arcade stuff?
Yeah, it's just, it started with an arcade one-up, and, I've always liked the arcade scene in the 80s. So, it kind of got out of hand, and I just kept going with it. And now I'm buying original arcades as well. And
oh, man.
So I'm going to continue on. I've got another part of my basement that I'm getting ready to add on to. And then the Ron's Retro Arcade is just, it's like I want a for real arcade. So I just kind of come up with that. I wanted retro in the name of it because that's what I want to bring it back to the 80s. I want that kind of feel to it. So I've kind of switched gears a little bit midterm here. In the beginning, I was kind of going crazy with arcade one-ups and doing things, and I still love them, no problem with them. Now I'm more interested in the full-size original cabs, but I like both. Eventually, maybe it'll move to a building. You know, it's just
That's funny.
it's completely out of control right now.
I think both you and Lisa said that you started with arcade one-ups in an avalanche, or AKA it's almost like your gateway drug. I don't know if that's probably appropriate to say or not, but both of you guys said you started that. It's kind of me too, right? I started off with an arcade one-up and it's grown. I do have some full-size arcades, but I can't fit them in my game room. So, but Lisa, do you have any full-size arcades? Or are you strictly arcade one-ups at this point? Hold on, I'm gonna unmute you really fast.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Lisa.
I have one that I'm working on. I'm like, we're in the process of doing stuff with the game room, so I don't.
Okay.
Yet, but it's coming.
All right, and Lisa, if you can check your internet, your audio is a little bit choppy, so we'll try to get that fixed on there. All right, cool. All right, and my last guest may not need an introduction to the retro arcade community. He is the host of his own podcast show. He does a lot of great things for the community reviews, but he also happens to have an amazing studio, and I see it in the background every time I watch his podcast show. None other than Stephen Hayward, aka the Tech Buzz. What's going on, Stephen?
Hey man, it's nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, thanks for joining last minute. And I look at you with that fancy blurred background arcade. Are you sitting in your arcade now, or is that just some fancy?
Well, yeah, this is yeah. So I cheat a little bit. So for those that don't know, I actually sit in front of a 4K TV that has a looping background because my arcade is actually in my studio. Yeah, it's you'll see later on, but it's kind of confusing. So,
man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That guy, that's what Sean says. So.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Sup, Steven. Congrats on being the TV man. Sup, Tech Buzz. So, I mean, the reason I brought Steven on here is because obviously he does such great live streaming things. And as I've been doing this for the last 2 months or so, I needed to make sure I had some quality, for me to get better. And I'll just give a quick shout out to you, Steven. I've been messaging Steven about even how to get better with my own sound equipment, my own, video equipment stuff. So if you've seen the quality of my streams get better, it's directly because of Steven. So thank you so much for, your amazing expertise in this area, not just for me, but many other content creators too. I know a lot of people go to you for advice. So just huge shout out, To Die For says Tech Buzz is in the house. So I just appreciate you. I wanted to say that for start off, but do you want to give a quick introduction, just like the others did, about, how you got started with your studio? I mean, I know you have a lot of arcade one-ups, but how did it start? Was there anything in it before?
So yeah, originally this was just I do video for my job. That's one of the main things. B and I are always talking. But the whole retro game, like everybody else, I played them as a kid. But I was at Walmart back in 2018. I think it was like 2 months. I found out afterwards. It was like 2 months after Arcade 1-Up officially launched or whatever, and the Rampage cabinet was there. And that was my brother and I's favorite game to play, at what was called then Showbiz Pizza, and we played it on the Nintendo, and it was I wanted my kids to experience it, and they never saw an arcade, so they were like, "This is cool." And I looked at my wife. I'm like, "Can I buy it?" And she's like, "Yeah, go ahead." Little did she know that one is kind of like the people that get tattoos. Once you get one, it leads to another, which leads to another, and then you end up with the monstrosity that we all have now. So exactly. Yeah, but it was basically started. I did it, to reminisce with my kids about what I felt was, and I'm sure the other panelists agree, is the games that were really, really good and you didn't really need to think a lot to play them. And that's even as far as collecting the games that I had as a kid. It's something my son and I can do, and he really enjoys doing it.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I think all of us, especially in chat too, let me know in chat if you guys have a similar story. If it, you kind of started off with just finding that one little arcade that you could buy at a decently affordable price and put it in your house. I remember my story really quickly was, I think it was 2019 November was when I first got my Street Fighter 2 cab from Amazon when it was on a lightning deal. And I was like, $175 for a Street Fighter 2 cab. Done. I was like, I'm going to put a pie on it. I'll be done. And then I won't need anything else. and then I had to justify in my head, because before I got into modding and stuff, if I wanted to buy more cabs, I am a toy collector first, than an arcade guy. I used to collect high-end collectible Macross Transformer toys. So I sold off like 2 or 3 like expensive toys in order to fund the purchase of my TMNT and Star Wars. And like when I made the purchase, I was telling my wife, like, they just showed up at the front door, and I was like, don't worry, I paid for them out of toys that I sold. So you got to use that like balancing act. And then I was like, oh, it's only gonna stay in this room. And then it was just about 2 months ago where I'm sitting in my den now that used to have a full size couch right here. One day, while my wife was working downstairs in the pandemic, I just sold our couch on OfferUp and like literally took it out the door while she was in the meeting. And afterwards, she was like, I couldn't say anything. I had a tear running down my eye because I turned our den into like an actual arcade. So I'm sure you guys have all had many sacrifices of furniture and other things to make space. But tell me what your space was before you turned it into arcade. So let me start with Lisa. Like, what was the space that you have now? Like, what was it before you decided to turn it into your dedicated arcade room? Can you unmute yourself? Oh, there you go. Yep.
Okay. It was always a game room.
Okay.
It just had it didn't have the platform. It just had the chairs, and like I think the Xbox and Nintendo Wii.
Mm-hmm. Console games,
basketball. But once we put the arcades in up here, it just turns into something totally different. It's just like, okay, now we can add this and looking for artwork to go on the walls. You just can keep adding.
So at least you already knew that it was going to be dedicated to a game room. It wasn't something else that you converted. So at least that was nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
we dedicated. We didn't have to.
That's good.
Space. You
didn't have to argue too much with your husband too. So I mean, it sounded like he was all in, right?
All in. It worked.
Does he have like a side handle as GameDad77 too, or is that like it all you that really? Yeah, he's all behind the scenes.
If you got,
yeah, we want to see the other. Like, we all know that with their significant others that allow us to do this hobby. I mean, we've already met Lisa, GameMom77. Let's meet game significant other. There he is, the man who's supporting GameMom77. How you doing, man? What's your name?
My name's James.
James, nice to meet you, James. James and Lisa, I mean, you guys have put together a fantastic, just great channel with content. So I've been watching, getting ideas. But nice to meet you. I mean, you guys have a couch in your room. That's something that I don't have space for. So it sounds like you guys are comfy. It's a multi-purpose room. It sounds like.
Well, we got rid of one of them. It's a futon. We got rid of one.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Ronnie, so what was your space now? Like, you have a really big space. Like, I've seen like full-size arcades. I saw an air hockey table. Like, what was that space before your arcade? Can you? I'm gonna unmute you first. Go ahead. All right. Go ahead. There you go.
Yeah, it was just a pile of junk that basically we didn't have a storage building to put it in, and and I would come down here. I'm a mechanic, so I would work on things. And when I bought my first arcade one up, I cleaned the section over here to my left completely out and put it there.
Yeah.
And it one turned into three, and three, just kept on. And then I've still got another space that's about 17 by 25 that I can use in the back. But I've got to clean it out first. So I'm in the process of doing that. And I probably got a pickup truck load of old vintage console games that are down here that I've got to find somewhere to put them. I can't put them outside. I can't put them in my attic. So, they need to be in a controlled environment. But that's my next step, is to open that up back there. And then I'm going to probably take the white walls that are down here and paint them black and do some black light responsive painting on them.
Nice.
Some things like that still. So
it's never done, right? Like, your room is never completed.
Nope.
I'm sure you can feel that same way, right, Lisa? And Steven, you said you always had it as a studio, right? But I mean, like, when you converted it, like, did you have to sacrifice like other things that were there?
No, because we actually bought this house 2 years ago. We moved out of a smaller house that we had. It was time, And one of the things that I did, and I'm going to grab a picture here so you can actually see. So one of the questions that you originally asked was how long, has this been going on? And my wife seems to think it's been forever. But when we moved in here, the folks that own this were big Steelers fans, so that stuff had to go. It just had to get out of here. So we made sure that they took that out with them. But that's the room. What
Lisa
it
might be a
looks like.
Steelers fan. that's the studio. Oh wow, all that wood paneling was there.
That's the side where the arcade is at.
Oh, okay.
So we left the TV bracket there, which is where the TV is now. So it went from that to this.
Wow, they got the arcade, the carpet. I mean, you fit a lot in that room. It looks like your arcade looks bigger the way that you spaced it than in that other picture that you just had. Like I wouldn't have thought that was the same room before. So
yeah, and there's actually two more with the iArcade and the Buck Hunter, and then the pinballs up at the far end that you can't see. But we left the couches and kind of did it theater style, even though I want to get rid of the couches. My wife won't let me. So I made use of the space to do console gaming over at the TV. So as Ron said, you're just never done. So I'm constantly changing and adding and, seeing what I can do to make it better, I guess.
Yeah. And so the common theme that I see in all three of you guys, like what makes it look like an arcade, and I think Bobby was saying it in the chat room, is that the lighting that you guys have, it really creates that ambiance of that. And I have this is my den, but it goes right into this hallway right in front of me. So it's not an enclosed space that I don't know if I can create that lighting, but it seems like lighting is so important. So tell me a little bit about kind of what was that thing that really transformed it into a dedicated arcade setup. So maybe you can talk about your light setup. I know you have your running lights, Steven, Game Mom, you have lights behind every single cab. You have your cabs light up themselves too, which is really freaking cool. So let me start there, Game Mom. I mean, lighting is such a huge deal for you. I think the first thing you do when you get a cab is how am I gonna make this start glowing instead of doing any technical mods, or how am I gonna put LED T-molding? How am I gonna change the kick panel? I feel like lights are your thing. Tell me how important that is to you in terms of your arcade setup.
Yeah, I like to light stuff up. I like the how the LEDs when they're moving. I like the fact that it can. It brings something to the game, and then you have the laser lights. They have all different kinds. That'll show different symbols and stuff on the wall. So I think all of that it just brings you back to when you were a kid.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of that light. And we actually have a question from Devil Waldo specifically for you that says, where do you get inspiration for your mods or decor? Are they original ideas, or do people suggest things for you to try? Because you do a lot of original stuff.
There are some of the things we'll watch. It could be TV or some videos. Some things we may see on someone else's channel, and we'll say that we saw the skylight, we saw it on Twisted channel. So when we showed the skylight, I made sure I let people know that I saw it on this channel. But a lot of things are just me and my husband, we just talk about different stuff, and oh, well, it would be cool to do this up here or do that. And we search a lot on Etsy and Amazon. You can find a lot of cool stuff, especially decor for your game.
Yeah.
That's kind of original that you don't really see typically in people's game rooms.
Oh, that's true. Using Etsy and those smaller shops to really enhance instead of getting big box stuff. That's really cool. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. A-Tran Fanatic says the 80s rule and all your arcade rooms look dope. I absolutely agree. All right, Ronnie, tell me about the lighting and what you do to get your room looking really ambiance. You have light. I see you have light LEDs. You have what are those effects that are going on? Is that just do you have a little dance floor with a spinning globe? What do you got going on? Oh, you got the LEDs on the top corner too? Oh
Oh
man, you. Oh my goodness,
You got
it's a dance floor.
yeah, I've got the running lights that go around the entire thing. You can change them. It's got I
Oh,
think
that's
it's
so cool.
60 settings or something on it. It's a lot of settings. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then I've got them on behind some of the arcades, and I've got them a little bit everywhere. But
Uh-huh.
it's just kind of involved. I started with one thing, and you'll find something on Amazon or whatever, and then And also, I tell you what I put down here. These are made. Let me turn it around. I
Oh
put all
yes.
them
Oh, skee ball. There it is.
them lights I put on. They're from Monster and Luminescence. They're
Oh,
they're
so
they
cool.
work with your phone. I've got them on my air hockey. I
That looks
love
so
them.
dope. I'm so jealous. I'm about to cry because I'm so happy looking at your stuff. All right, I'm gonna have you do a formal. I'm gonna have you guys all walk around your actual arcades just to get me jealous. I'm pretty sure people want to see. Put a one in the chat if you guys want to see like actual walk around tours of their stuff. I mean, you probably can go to their channels and see it too, but like you guys can ask them questions and see stuff. Like I want to see it like live and do an actual kind of a tour. That skee ball is fire, absolutely. All right, Steven, like you said, the number one question you get is your LEDs, but tell us more about your lighting setup because I mean that's really what makes it next level too, right?
Yeah, I mean, right now I have all the studio lights on just so that the cameras don't freak out and everything. But yeah, the chaser lights that you're seeing on my background, and we'll show them later with the tour. Those I get asked about, and I put a picture up on Instagram where I ran LEDs on the stairs that lead to my studio / game room. So it almost looks like it's like a purple blue. You can change it to whatever, but it looks like the stairs are appearing as it goes down. There's a video up of that, and people thought that was kind of cool. They said it's kind of trippy when you're going down, but no, a lot of the LED lights, I will say, when I got them, I get bombarded all the time. Like, where'd you get those? And like Ron's, and I'm sure Game Mom's, mine are controlled via the phone as well. They're smart controlled. So you could change it to like 200 and some patterns. And I'm afraid if I change my pattern and do a video, somebody's going to be like, you changed your lights. You got different lights. Where did you get them? So I've been keeping them exactly the same for that reason.
No problem. That's cool. I so funny. The only thing that I've ever done with like fancy LEDs, I just in my kids' room, we had to buy a new light for one of our rooms because it went out, and they make like room lights, but you can put LEDs on the top of it, and now I have like this one. It's their room where I'm like controlling it, but I'm like, oh, that would be cool in my actual arcade room too. But now you guys are really thinking me like, the corner strips that you have, the chaser lights, like that looks. I mean, obviously, when it's not in use, then I mean, it looks normally lit up, right? Or do you like? So since you guys have arcade rooms that it's not every time I see you, it's turned on, but like, how often do you turn on everything? Like, is this like an everyday thing where it's just there and you're sitting in the ambiance, or do you turn it on when the only guests are there? Like, how often are you like switching everything on? Because I feel like that's part of my pain is that I don't have everything like set to just turn on. I had to like flip everything. Like, anybody like can just mention like how often are you guys actually turning everything on to actually sit in your rooms?
Well, for me, it's not all the time that we turn every single thing on. Like we may have whatever games that we're playing at the time, but if the whole family's up or we have company or person with the video, we'll have them all on. But we have it on the app where you just have it turn on everything. So that's what you have to do.
Oh, nice.
You have to
gotta get smart. Got it. I didn't have that problem until about 3 months ago when I started getting all these extra cabs. It was like 4 cabs and I can just flip them. But like once you get past a certain number, right? Like there's no way. You got to be able to like power them all up. Ronnie turns on his arcade every weekend. I know that much, right?
every weekend, probably at least 3 to 4 times a week, I turn them on.
Nice.
And I'll make a confession. Most of my games have to all be turned on manually.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm gonna leave it that way because even though sometimes it may seem like it's a pain, I think in a way that's kind of part of the experience of it. I do have like my driving games are all on a power strip. I turn them on,
And they all flip on, yeah.
but most of them you turn on individual. And luckily my daughter helps me with that most of the time. The only time it's really a pain for me is when I'm tired at nighttime and it's real
And you
late.
gotta switch them off.
Yeah, but
yeah.
it's not really a problem. It's kind of enjoyment.
Brad likes to use as much electricity as possible. So I wonder if your bills have gone up. But it's all about the enjoyment, right? YOLO. Like,
Exactly.
what about you, Steven?
No, I turn them all on just simply because it's easy. I have everything hooked up to a Google Smart Switch with my Google Home, so it turns all the lights on. It turns the lights to the stairs, the lights behind the cabinets on. Some I leave on, the lights behind the cabinets, the chaser lights, different things like that. So I just come down, or if I'm upstairs, I just tell it, and then by the time I get down here, everything's booted up and ready to go.
Nice.
I'm lazy.
So me too. I'm way lazy about doing this, but I see him in chat right now. But I gotta give a shout out to my man Bobby Vu. But Bobby has an amazing arcade room too. It's like I've seen it in person, obviously, and he's working at this time now, so he can't join me at this time on stream. But obviously, I love Bobby's setup and what he's done too. And what he's done with is like he has such a small space. But okay, so that's my thing, right? Maximizing space. You know, Ron, you have the luxury of having like a huge space where you can actually, you know, put a full size skee ball table and an air hockey table. And many of us don't have the luxury of space, right? And so I think, I guess my next question for you guys is like, what was the biggest thing you did in terms of like organizing? Like, there's so many ways you can configure. Like, there's the wall size that I have. I see that you have a mini island in the middle, Steven. Like, Lisa, you have like a TV with a couch in the middle too. Like, what are some of like the biggest like tips and advices that you have for like maximizing space and setup? Because I'm sure you guys have changed it a bunch of times, right?
Yeah, and you have to be creative, and you don't have to have all of your cabinets like lined up like side by side. Like you have to be creative, like how Steven has his like in the middle. Like we have some where we have them back to back. You just have to be creative with it. It's like how my husband says, it's like playing Tetris.
I love how Glenn says he's going to take an extension cord to his neighbor's house. Well, that's the good thing about the 3/4 scale arcades, right? Is that you can move them, right? And so that's the nice thing where you can actually like, when I do a review, I move this one to this side because I want to be able to look at, you know, this cab over here. So that's always nice about the 3/4 scale. What about you, Steven? Any advice on organization setup?
I'm with Game Mom on this. You don't have to have them all lined up. As much as I really wanted to recreate that feel, I think these guys would agree, and probably people in the chat room. It comes down to placing cabinets strategically based on how to play them. Like you don't want to put Buck Hunter in a corner where there's a couch there because you're not going to be able to play it, or Ninja Turtles somewhere where somebody's against the wall. It's just not playable. So I think strategically looking at your room and trying to maximize based on the cabinets and where you can put them, you might be changing some things around a little bit. I tried to keep my onesie twosie games in that island in the middle, like, you know, like my arcade and my Golden Tee, something that where you're not crowded in around that. And I kind of made it like an octagon, if you will.
Nice.
So it gives it a little bit more room, but yeah.
All right. How about you, Ronnie?
Yeah, just I mean, it has to evolve as you get new games. You know, when you get another game, it's like,
that's
well,
the problem. We always get more games, and I'm like, I'm
Right.
literally out of space. Like I'm
Right.
at the edge. I would go into my hallway if I got another cab I haven't told my wife I have more stuff on pre-order yet, so I had to get creative. Okay, sorry. Keep going, Ronnie. I'm confessing. And she's downstairs. She could probably hear me right now.
So a lot of what I have right here, when I open up the back, is going to completely change. I'm planning on putting the air hockey in the back. I'm planning on putting the skee ball in the back, and I'm going to put a double aisle here in the middle and a single aisle over here. So that's going to add 15 games in here. I think I've got enough room for another 25 in the back.
Nice.
So
20. Wait, you could fit 25 more arcades in your space? Is that what you just said?
In the back, and about 15 up here.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Well, but it's all going to depend on what games too.
All of them, right? I mean, you have them all on pre-order, right?
But I've got my heart set on a Punch Out, original Punch Out. I want to get one of them, a Donkey Kong Jr., a Paperboy, and a Tron. And as you know, them are $high games if you buy nice ones. So I'm just going to try to keep looking for them as I get money. Just buy one at a time, and just let it evolve as you get it. Everything you see in here is probably going to be moved around. Like everyone knows, and he just touched on it. Like if you've got a Rampage and you're playing 3 people, you can't have it in a corner. So my driving game, if you look over here, my driving game, I put it in the corner because you can set in there. It's not going to hurt anything, So everything you have to kind of look at it and think, well, what do I need to do here? And let it evolve. You don't try to do everything one day.
All right, Bobby has the right idea. You just expand the arcade into the entire house at that point. I have room for 25 arcades if I put them in the kitchen, in my kids' room, and in the bedroom. Would that be fun? Does anybody in chat have an arcade in their bedroom? I'm curious. Is it a thought ever crossed your mind? Like, what's the most unique thing that you guys have in your arcade, or have you ever thought about putting it in other places besides your arcade room in your house?
I got a Sega Genesis in my bathroom downstairs here with a TV.
Yes, that's creative.
I only did it because my wife said I could do whatever I want in the bathroom, and it's the one the kids use. And I thought, I'm just going to do it just because I can. And I did.
Bobby needs to do. Oh man, the hand sanitizer you need to have while you're playing games.
I don't know if anybody's ever played it. It just sometimes, like when we have people over, I'll just let it run in a loop or something, just for just
Shotgun Sean says he has 3 pinballs in his kitchen. All right, that's the way. I mean, it doubles. It can double as eating surface, right? Yeah, cocktail tables, right? That's functional furniture right there. That totally makes sense. All right, Sewer Shark and a Sega CD in the throne room. There it is. Very cool. All right, so before we get to the tours, because we're already halfway through, and I want to see more of your stuff live. Like, give me kind of I'd love to hear from you guys. Maybe like the one thing you did that what's the favorite thing in your arcade room? What that's not an arcade, right? Because we all know that arcades make it, but what's the most favorite thing that you purchased that was dang, this really made my arcade room the ish? What was the one thing that and maybe this is advice for me to start because I'm at a ground zero. What would you maybe recommend as one thing that would make this room behind me really kind of start to stand out? Your favorite thing and maybe some advice. I start with Steven and then we'll go back.
Oh geez. I would, oh man, that's tough. I would probably have to go with the lights if I was going to say anything, because
the chasers, the ones that you have.
Yeah, I have chasers, but I also have Parcan lights. If you're familiar with, stage lighting and whatnot.
I do. I have them actually. I used to be a wedding DJ, so I have up lights and I have light bars that I have 10 of them. So I could.
So when the room is dark, you would see it over where our basketball, our mini basketball is in the corner. I have some up lights, if you will, underneath it that shoot up at the ceiling and behind the couches to kind of give that ambiance to go with everything else. And then I have what's called jellyfish lights, and they shoot the circles out. I have those around. I have some lasers. I've just been too lazy to put lasers up, but I do have those.
I just saw Glenn's comment about where your Sega Genesis is where it belongs, is in the bathroom. In the chat.
That's right, because I put the TurboGrafx on my gaming station, just for you, Glenn.
Oh, that's so funny. All right, cool. So yeah, the lights. I definitely see that. But Game Mom, what about you? What's the one thing? What's your favorite thing in your arcade that's not an arcade?
My 3D holographic thing.
Say that one more time. You have 3D holographic stuff. Is that on your shelves or?
Yeah, is a fan and spins like
Oh.
Dude, it's
So-
cool. You need to see her video on it. Like, I want one. They're awesome.
All right. Well, Lisa, get your cell phone camera back and ready because it went dead. So turn it back on because I'm gonna ask you to do a little tour of that soon in a second. So all right, cool. All right, Ronnie, how about you? What's your favorite thing in your arcade that's not an arcade?
It would probably have to be my lighting and my Ron's Retro Arcade sign.
Yeah, you have an actual. I saw that a picture of it. It's a custom actual like did you have that custom made like actual neon?
Yeah, it does look neon, but they're LEDs, and you can get it from a company. I can send a link out, but it's like $120. I mean, it's
nice.
It's cheap, and they'll put whatever you want it to say on it.
Yeah, I could put Concade or something like that on the wall. Like, yeah,
exactly.
Definitely. Like, I'm totally salivating, Billy. Like, my mouth is drooling. Like,
and so I have the lights that are similar to, the chaser lights there, and that made my room. And then, of course, the Ron's Retro sign. That's probably that and the lights are my favorite.
There it is. Very cool. All right, so let's see it. Oh, somebody says that you have a cool arcade, or Brad does. But Tim says that you have a cool jukebox. Like, do you guys have? So you have other stuff there. Do you have a jukebox, Steven? No.
No.
Do you have a non-arc? No comment. Do you have?
I would get an actual jukebox, but I'm not putting jukebox on the act games. I know that's what somebody's trying to get out of me in the chat room. Dumbest feature ever for the arcade. I'm sorry, I had to say it. Okay.
I'll have to look at some history on that. So, Lisa, how about you? Do you have other non-arcade like things like jukeboxes or slot machines? Anything else that's gonna make their way into your room?
I don't. A slot machine is not the same as go to the actual game. So I wouldn't do that.
All right, I think we're ready to see it. All right, I'm gonna switch Lisa. Lisa, do you have your camera ready? Let's do it. I'm gonna mute this big camera and I'm gonna turn on your other one. So here we go. I'm going to add this camera to the stream, and then we're gonna go. I'm gonna make her big. So let's do this. All right, there you are.
You're gonna have to unmute her phone too.
I think it is unmuted.
Okay, good.
All right, let me flip it.
Can you turn off the speaker on your laptop? Sure. All right. All right, she's upside down. You've never seen an arcade upside down before, have you? I mean, this is live streaming right here. This is real. Yeah, there it is. We can see it now.
All right.
Cool. Let's see it. So you got the shelves. Oh, that's the other thing that you did too that I didn't see Steven or Ron do. You added collectibles on those shelves too. So like that's really cool. Where you really thought about having shelving for your collectibles in addition to your arcades, right?
Can you? I'm trying to.
Can you hear me? Or
me?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have. I'm trying to see how it's. Okay, so it is in reverse. Yeah. Okay, so I have like the Transformers and
nice,
like that.
Very cool.
And
is that the thing you're talking about? The sign, the 3D sign?
Can you? I can't see what you see. Let me show you. Okay. Can you see?
Dude, this thing is sick. I'm telling you.
If I stand this way, yeah. Okay, so.
There it is.
Can you see it?
Oh my goodness, the little jellyfish thing?
Yeah.
What?
I told you.
What? That's sick. Holy heck. That's so cool.
I'm trying to. Wow. Is there a way to flip the camera around so I can?
Yeah. If you press the mic cam settings on your phone, you should be able to try to flip it. So that way, that's so cool. Oh my goodness. All right. So like Lisa, I'm gonna get you set up. Or Ronnie, you ready to kind of walk around? We'll get Lisa. We're gonna swip around. All right. Let's get Ronnie ready. All right, go ahead. Let's see it, Ronnie.
Okay, I was gonna try to flip my camera around. All right, so I'll just do it like this.
Okay, cool.
All right, so
There
I'll
it
start
is.
over here.
Are you in your like basement? Is that why you have like the tubing
Let
and
me
stuff?
move my.
Is
Yeah. That's
okay.
and I've got an idea for that. I think I'm going to paint that green like Mario Brothers.
Oh, okay. Or you can do like turtles too. Like, yeah, that would be a good theme. There you go.
So that's
Very
kind of
cool.
what, and I'm going to paint these white walls black and do some
Okay.
black light responsive stuff. So
Oh, sweet.
anyhow, you'll see these are like the brick paneling behind these games here.
Mm-hmm.
And behind that wall is the area that's about 17 by 25 that I can use for the rest of my game room as soon as I get it cleared out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Very
so,
nice.
of course,
So is that brick? Is that just wallpaper?
no,
Or is
it's paneling.
Okay.
And so there's the sign right there. I can get a little
Ron.
closer to it. So
Very cool. They got the pink, the blue, looking really nice and clean. I
and
gotta
I've
get me
got
one of
these
those. The cocktails. Oh, those look nice lit
cocktails.
up too. Very cool.
Yep, and that's light up seats.
Nice. Oh, I love how you guys just put LEDs in everything. That like, you would just make the world glow. That's so cool.
And so I've got a coin
Change machine?
Yep, change
Very
machine.
nice. Very nice.
And I use the I-beam in my basement to do kind of what she did with the shelving. So
Oh, to put some. Oh yeah. Get the little mini arcades. Cool.
yeah, and of course they're most of y'all know what they are, but they work. And then I've got the little gremlin here. He's playing the Donkey Kong.
Nice. So cool.
He's hanging up. So
You got people that are hanging out in your arcade. Is that your family? Do they hang out in the arcade too often?
once in a while, not very often, but once in a while.
That's
of course,
cool.
I've got a redemption game, and I added this popcorn machine not very long ago because this is also a movie theater on this side. And you see my theater seats that I have. Let me try to. I wish I could flip my camera around. It would make this easier for me, but. And then I won't stay close to the jukebox very long because I'm afraid they'll mute us or something on YouTube. But
No worries. Yeah.
But
Sounds good.
anyhow, I want to show you something. This is a custom game that started with a Street Fighter.
Is that the Ghostbusters theme?
Yeah, it's Ghostbusters. And then I've got the graphics on here from Arcade Graphics.
Nice.
And he actually didn't have the riser graphics at the time. So we kind of got together and he made these for me.
Oh, that's sick. That's so cool. Look at that. He got the fog coming out of it too. I've never seen that before. I've never seen a fog machine inside of a freaking cab. That's so cool.
And then you got
Uh-huh.
I drilled each thing out. I've got videos that I posted on here and put 3mm LEDs in here.
Oh, so you did that yourself?
Did it myself. I've got it all working on a 555 chip. I can change the I'm trying to look at my phone in there, but I can change the settings on here where it does a different blink pattern.
Oh, that's so freaking cool.
Have more time in that car than the entire game. Also, I've added the siren from the Ghostbusters 1 movie. Let me turn the volume up.
All right, there we go. Talk about like details, guys. I mean, like next level details like this, I absolutely love. I love the fact that you went this level of detail on the cab, from the fog to the back to the even the topper. That's so cool, man.
I can try to show you the sides a little bit here of it, but it's a nice looking cabinet.
Oh, absolutely. And I like how like you have the space where like you space your arcade one up so they're not exactly next to each other, so you can appreciate the artwork. So I like that. Like I'm getting to the point where I have to stick them next. I see Steven do your same way. Like it looks like yours are all butt up next to each other too. Like you don't have that space to see the side paneling. Oh, look at that Donkey Kong. Is that a and yet the T2, is that the Game Room Solutions one, or is that like
this
is that a real
1981 original in mint condition? The only thing that's wrong with this one is I've got just a little bit of peeling on the original sticker right here. I don't know if you can see that peeling just a little bit, but the cabinet is near spotless. Let me move this stool here.
Oh my goodness! And people want to see your T2 as well. We want to go back and look at that T2. I mean, look at the There it is. There she is.
And it's a really, really clean T2.
Oh my goodness.
I've got a couple little things to do to it. It's like any arcade it's original, you've got to work on them. But it plays great. It the screen's great and it's vibrant. I do have a crack on this gun, and I'm going to buy the there's a guy on eBay that sells these housings that are the original molds. So I'm going to buy two housings and put on there, but they're $100 a piece. So
nice.
It's not cheap, but it's a very, very clean cabinet.
Is that little Tupperware for coins? Like what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You just keep them there.
Right now it's empty, but yeah, that's what I did for this one. When people come over, I'll fill them up.
Oh yeah, that's
and
cool.
That way, man. Because I don't want nobody paying for anything in my game room, But
that's what you had the change machine for, man. That's like
right.
you gotta put the authentic experience. You give them dollars. Oh, you got your custom arcade T-shirt too. I gotta get me a Kong Zeros T-shirt. Very cool.
Can
got the
you see that
foosball. I do. It's so nice, man. I love that they're hanging out in there.
Yeah, the foosball. I just got this not long ago. It's a beautiful. I've never seen one like this. It's extremely heavy built. Really, really nice.
Look at the space in that room. He has not only a skee ball, foosball, and an air hockey table inside of his basement. So
and see this pipe up here at the top? That's where I hang my screen up for my movies. So I'll hang it up and then push my stools up against my games, and I can watch movies down here too.
There we go. Very cool. All right. And after seeing this, who wants to go next? No, I don't. I'm kidding. I'm like, my goodness, holy heck, guys! What do you guys think? So 70s. It's cool that the quarters can go into the real arcades. Nice. And so, and you said that there's another place that you're going to be putting arcades to besides this room. Did you said you have a separate room?
Yeah, right behind this wall. I don't want to show you because it's packed full of stuff, but there's a curtain right here.
Oh, I see. So there's going to be a secondary room, extra room.
I'm going to try to put the, like I said, the skee ball back there and then the air hockey, and I'm also going to start adding pinballs.
All right, we'll bring you back on a second show when you're ready to do a full showcase. Once I have a little bit more, I feel every time I bring on guests that have things that are way better than mine, I feel so inadequate at the moment with my little arcade. So, but hopefully this is inspiring you guys as well, because it's absolutely inspiring me, and I need to get off my ass and really set up my game room. But thank you so much for sharing this. Anybody have any?
One other thing. I always tell people in my game room, it doesn't matter if you have one game or 30. I've been inspired probably more by people that have 1 to 3 games in their room. That's where I come up with this sign. I was like, man, I love your sign. Where did you get it? And
absolutely.
They sent me the link. So it doesn't matter. We want to see all of the game rooms. I mean, we're all in this. It's it's a beautiful thing. We love it.
Absolutely.
People think, well, I need 30 games to show off my game. You don't need that. I mean, we get inspired by people with 2 games in a room.
I love that you said that, because everybody, their game room is their space, right? So whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 30, right? It's kind of that sanctuary that you need to have it. So I think everybody's aspiring to get to a level, and obviously you've put the time and resources into this. So yeah, I absolutely love that you said that, because we can all get inspired by that. So cool. Thanks, man.
No problem.
Steven, you ready to show us a little bit around your studio?
Sure.
All right. And then I'll finish back with you, Lisa, because I want to see more of that 3D sign. Yeah.
I actually have something that I wanted to show you too.
You do? Okay, cool. All right, let's get Steven in here a little bit, and then we'll finish off with Lisa, and then we'll close it up, guys. This is so cool. Brad says, well said. All right, we're ready. Are you going to show us pictures, or are you going to walk around?
Well, I'm going to walk you around with the camera. So, I mean, if I have to, I can go over there too. But I did a little bit different. Certain areas I don't have shelves yet. So I just kind of put action figures up on the wall with thumbtacks of
Wait, is
Star
this a
Wars.
Live camera that's in your arcade room that you're just controlling with PTZ? Yes. Look at this fancy guy. He doesn't need to walk around. He's just controlling a remote control camera. He has a robot in his house. No,
So we have a little basketball thing that I picked up online for $25, and then I have a bunch of boxes underneath that double as controller storage and Rock Band. But I just put things that kind of represented me and shelves up, and over here, I don't really have knickknacks on the walls, but I have like all like console games that are either in box, unopened, even different boxes. I like to show off the boxes of
some of them don't even look open, right?
Some of them aren't open. Some of them are not open. And then these are all over here. I have the kind of like Ron, mine's all boxed in, and then I put my old arcade 1-up marquees up on the top. I'll kind of get to that. But I also have like the arcade 1-up Pac-Man and stuff up there. And then in the center, I have a nice clean console box set up.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That's awesome.
I've got like every console except for the Atari Jaguar and I believe the links all the way back to the Atari 2600. So most of them are playable, all connected HDMI. I know, don't crucify me, but it's easier for my kids. So I did put a shelf up here that has all kinds of games up there, console games that some are open, some are not open. And then I have the couch here in the middle that everybody can kind of sit on when they're playing the console games, or a stool when we play like Rock Band. And then there's like a couch right behind here.
Oh, you have 2 couches in there.
Yeah, one's a 3-seater, one's a 2-seater, and they recline both of them. And then you can kind of see how I staggered the little island there. And the pinballs are on the other side. I'll have to switch to a different camera for that. But there's the NBA Jam, and then the games. And then I've got some knickknacks sitting over there on the shelf. And there's that light that I was talking about, the jellyfish light.
Oh, cool. What sit-down cab is that?
That's the Star Wars sit-down cab.
Oh, you just put a back to it?
Oh no, that's my gaming chair. So I have a whole gaming rig set up over there with
okay.
that I play consoles and stream and stuff. So that's the other side of where the pinball is. And let me see if I can kind of tweak around with that here real quick.
So cool.
I have on the shelf up there, just, some handhelds.
I see you did get all the LED marquees too. I saw you representing, your boy.
Yes,
right?
I'm still waiting for the Buck Hunter, but I know Game Mom managed to work one in there. I was so jealous when I saw it, but
I know you got to show us that. All right, you got to check that out. You got to show us. Me jelly. Okay, keep going.
So, but yeah, I mean that's pretty much. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it on my stairs there? How the light? I have it on both sides of the light, or both sides of the stairs. Looks better in person, but. I don't know if you can see it in the gap over the top of Big Buck Hunter.
Yeah.
So I have that going down. Like you don't see any of the lights because they're hidden, but it lights up the stairs going down. So.
Yeah, that's nice.
But it's just something like, I had no intentions of doing this. It just kind of happened. It was something that I wanted reminiscent of what I grew up with. And since the basement already had the paneling, it was kind of like, okay, how can I make it look retro 80s and just kind of, put some toys up that are, sentimental to me and something that me and my kids can enjoy, my wife. And I have another side over here, which it's like to the ceiling with boxes. And I don't know if let me try this camera here. This one here.
I'm half enamored that you just have like security. Like, they're not security cameras. Like you use these for like other things.
I use these for broadcasting and stuff.
Broadcasting?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So you can kind of see it here. It's the angle of it, but all my high-end, expensive inbox, unopened, a lot of them retro, going all the way back to Nintendo, are on that shelf there. You can kind of see to the left of the TV there. But then I have all my original boxes piled to the ceiling just to kind of display. But they're done nice that people can actually see what they are.
That's cool.
And then let me see if I can turn this. I don't know how far I can go over. Probably not that far. But even behind me, you guys saw it before here. I've got a bunch of stuff up on the side. And actually, one of my buddies, I wish it would have been done for this. And so nobody take my idea because I said it here first. If you do,
you heard
it here. No, somebody already did it, but I was joking. But my buddy's making me switch controllers for my TV in the back here. So when I go to a wide shot, it'll actually have Joy-Cons on the side of my TV that's going to open up and have shelving in it. So,
cool.
Something that I kind of wanted to do. So,
yeah,
but that's what I got right now.
Glenn would love that because he loves a Switch, right?
I got to get plastic bags for it. I don't know if I can get one big enough.
That's really cool. What was that little doll that was like in your background in that previous shot? Like, is that a little collectible?
So a lot of people ask, they see the pillows that I have that say subscribe on it. They say like my Tech Buzz logo. If you go to, and I'm not paid by him, but if you go to throwboy.com, he made the iCEO, which was Steve Jobs. There was only 2,000 of them made, and I bought one. But he also makes the pillow that you saw. I think it's over there. The subscribe pillow you can get. I think there's Twitch ones. I have Facebook icons. So if you want one of those for your game room, he sells a bunch of those. I forget what else he sells with it, but you can get little ones that say like noob on it, chat bubble ones and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
So cool. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. That was really cool. I've always seen it, but like just seeing you guys walk through your arcades is definitely inspiring. All right, Lisa, let's take it home. Let's come back to you. Let's go back. There we go. We can see you perfectly now. Sounds great. Let's see it. She's turning it around.
Okay. Can you? Now it's like, where?
It's black.
It's black.
It was working.
It was just working. Yeah.
It was just working. That's okay.
Wait a second. Let's try.
It'll be worth it, guys. Trust me. We were waiting to see. There it is.
There it is. It's coming.
It's coming.
I'm just gonna have to try to do it like this so you guys can see it.
All right, that's cool.
I'll go real quick around the game room, and then I'll show you guys the big buck hunter to everybody.
Yes. Oh yes, very good.
So
the light up kick plates are so genius. Has anybody else done that yet? Like I think you're the only one I've seen that has done the light up kick plate stuff. Like that's just so unique.
I know some people have. I saw a couple of people on Facebook. And this is can you see the 3D?
Yes. So what's the source feed of that? Is that like something that's already like created that comes with it, or can you feed other stuff into it?
You can download different images like video or GIFs and download them to the app, and it just puts.
I was gonna say, can you play an actual arcade game on that or no?
I don't have tried. I don't think so. But you can record the arcade game and then.
I see. I said that would have been really cool to like have a 3D arcade experience. That would be awesome. I have like really little side story. Like I'm a huge Macross Robotech fan, and in that series, there's like an arcade where they actually like play a game that becomes 3D just like that. And so I was like just imagining in my head like that would be amazing if you could actually play a real game live on that 3D setup. That would be cool. That would be something I would definitely look into if I could actually do it. But yeah, I mean, look at this tour. Look at this. I mean, this is way bigger than your pictures look. Like you have like a lot of space too. You got a little island. I thought it was always just that back area, but you got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I've been moving things around because you're getting stuff. Now I'm gonna show you guys the.
There it is.
That is the epitome of awesomeness right there.
Oh my goodness.
I don't, because it's hard to hold it. If you guys, it's not finished. We're still working on it. But can you see what we did?
We see it. It's good. It's going above and beyond, and yeah, I like it. Is that something? So I mean, I know that you teased it, but have you done any content on it yet, or is it still kind of in teaser mode?
You guys are seeing it first, besides the picture that I put out.
All right, there it is. Cool. Is it so secret? Future content, I'm sure. So I mean, like if you guys haven't already, I mean, like all three of these guys, Steven, the Tech Buzz, GameMom77, Ron, There's Ron. Okay. Yeah, Ron, you guys all have such awesome game rooms. Thank you guys so much for joining. Go check out GameMom77's YouTube channel. She has all the tips and tricks on how she's doing this stuff as well. I've definitely been inspired watching that stuff as well. Ron, I know that I linked Ron's YouTube channel. He has a couple videos there, but also has the arcade game room group. So if you want to see more arcade game rooms and get inspired, I love going to your group, Ron, and I think every weekend too. You're always kind of post like every weekend, hey, who has their game room on? Just kind of show what's going on. So I mean, anything you want to promote or like just mention?
Yeah, I forgot to mention one thing. We didn't talk much about the lit marquees, but I mean they've been a game changer. Most of all of mine have come. My later ones have come from Scott Evans, but I mean he does a great job. There's a lot of people out there.
Absolutely.
He does great work. Pretty nice guy and everything, So I just wanted to kind of mention that. It's just we talk about the lighting a lot. And like I've done a similar thing than Steven did, is put all the original marquees. I don't know, right here, just kind of for wall art. But what he's done, something new, I don't know if he's got it on his site yet or not, but you can notice like the original Arcade 1-Up marquees, how they're faded looking.
Yep.
So don't get me wrong, they look nice, but he's done something where it's a little hard to get the other sticker off, and he's added different lighting to it, but you can see how that looks now. If anybody has a Star Wars, they know that black is gray on them.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks so good. I mean, they're a game changer. So I'm going to do all of mine.
That looks really good. Yeah, for sure.
Because the difference between these two. So, I mean, on my site, you share, of course, everybody. We just try to share what's good and just put it out there so people know what's out there and what you can do.
Awesome. Thanks again for sharing. Steven, any last words that you want to mention? Things that like final tips or advice for people wanting to get their arcade room set up?
Yeah, you want to definitely follow Game Mom, because she saved me $100 on Buck Hunter when she posted about Walmart. Like, I saw that and I jumped on it. So thank you again for that. But no, in all, I mean, I'm serious, but I'm also being serious here. Listen, I think everybody would agree on this panel. This is not a end of the road. This is a marathon, not a sprint, right? Everybody, you take your time with what your budget is and build it to your liking. I mean, everybody's got killer game rooms, and Ron said it best. I mean, some of the guys with 3 games in it, I mean, some of those rooms are just so inspirational because they're clean. I mean, I'm really big on trying to hide wires. I can't stand, even in my broadcast setup, if you look at it, you don't see wires. So it takes me a little bit longer. That's why I say I'm lazy. But I think all these guys would agree, if you do it right the first time, you're not going to be tearing it out just to hide wires, just because you're in a hurry to get it up. Take your time, make it your own. If you got kids, get their input, and just make it a fun place. I think that's what I could say to everybody.
Very cool. Good advice. Lisa, anything you want to add, kind of like final tips, advice?
I would just piggyback off of what Steven said, and for your game room, just do what makes you happy, and that's all. And I just want to let everyone, my video will be out because I didn't do the graphics and stuff. And Steven, how can you not like the Steelers? I just show my I know you have seen my Steelers cabinet.
I did say that kind of to poke a little. Well, I'm Eastern Ohio, so I guess it could be worse. They could be Browns fans, but
fighting words.
Well, wait. I'll take one for here. I'm a Cowboys fan, so
okay.
Go ahead, let me have it. That's fine.
All right. Well, I mean, it's been awesome having you guys here. If you guys want to see, like, I've kind of done some content in my room. I'm actually sitting in my my Outrun chair that I made, and so all I have, the thing that I like have done the most that I really like is I got this brick wall, just like wallpaper. It just to be a plain brick wall, And then I have like these stuffed animals that are like Fat Rabbit Farm characters that I used to do. But I probably will be taking out those bookshelves in the back. I have a TV here that like really does nothing now because I probably could do a pedestal to that. But I think I'm gonna do LEDs in the top, like you guys said. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to take everything that you guys have said, and we'll be looking at how I can get this at least turned on. Again, that'll be maybe goal number 1 if I can actually just turn on all my arcades. But that's my mini tour. There's not much, so lots to be inspired by. I absolutely appreciate you guys. We've been at this for about an hour or so. Again, if you haven't already, please check out the Tech Buzz's channel. He does great content, does a podcast on Fridays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. The Retro Buzz, you guys can find him there. GameMom77, you are absolutely a pleasure to have on here, aka Lisa. If you guys have never known, that's the woman behind the camera there, giving us all the tips and tidbits. Check out GameMom77's YouTube channel. It's linked in the description. And Ron Fowler, aka Ron's Retro Arcade, aka the admin of the Arcade Game Room, is where it's at. So please join his Facebook group. Definitely check it out so you guys can also share your game rooms, and maybe we'll do another version of this once I get set up, and maybe we'll bring on some more panelists on a future show. But I mostly did this because I needed the advice. So this was just my excuse to chat with you guys. So thank you guys so much. Hang out. Appreciate everybody joining you guys, and we'll see you guys on the next level. Bye, guys.